Well, hello everybody, and it's just 5 minutes with John and Mark. Very topical and timely video today. Inclusivity versus hybrid working. Mark, I think we're going to have a look at the pyramid, and do you mind just taking us through that?
Sure, just to set the scene, as we often do.
Yeah.
You'll be aware by now that at Goodfoot we are looking at the whole of this pyramid in the services that we offer and the clients we are really lucky to be working with, as we know, John. The inclusivity bit is very much based around the well-being arena at the base of this pyramid, as is hybrid working, which is intended, of course, to give people choices about how they conduct their working day, home working, office working, which the goal of which, of course, is to improve productivity all the way up that pyramid there. So we're looking primarily, aren't we, today at how these two things come together, because they can appear to be opposite. You know, having choices to work away from the office, but we want more inclusivity as well. So that's a bit of a dilemma.
I think it is a little bit of a dilemma, certainly because different people have got different backgrounds, live in different places, and I think it opens up a whole spectrum of other concerns for managers and for teams. And also when we're working remotely, we're not connecting in the same way. So how do you foster that element of inclusivity? So I think hybrid working is a fantastic opportunity for everybody, but it does bring a complex range of issues. We've got a few tips, haven't we, that we think might help people?
Yeah, absolutely, as usual. And we pre-prepared this and we worked through our 3 tips, and we decided I'd give 2 tips today and you'd give the middle tip. So those of you watching us regularly get used to this format now, and it seems to work for us, which is good. Yeah, tip number 1, and this is tough because people are choosing to work away from the office more, and of course we want a sense of inclusivity, which is a real issue in many places at the moment, a very hot potato issue. So how do we do this? And the first tip is this: as managers, to concentrate on the inclusivity bit. And that means that certainly with more remote working and hybrid working, it requires extra management effort and time to engage in what I'm going to call meaningful conversations with people, taking extra time because people are we got used to this in COVID, didn't we? And to continue that practice of engaging individually in conversation with team members, asking what they need, what they want for support, and of course negotiating the results that we expect back from them. But more contact time one-on-one will help a lot of inclusivity elements in itself, because people then start to feel included. So more conversations is the first tip.
Yeah, I think with more conversations, you get more information, and that sort of leads nicely in. Although we didn't particularly practice it that way, but at least my tip. Yeah, so I think that when we're working with teams, we're working with many different types of people and with different types of experiences, but also potentially different levels of ability. Some people have disabilities, like myself. Sometimes I struggle with my hearing, particularly with certain devices. So as managers, I think being aware of who's on your team, what their needs are, if there is any disabilities that you can help, because there's lots of technology around these days that can help people, engage on an online experience. So being aware of your team, any disabilities, and then what tools can you give them to help them in a digital experience?
Yeah, and it's interesting. The inclusivity thing is interesting. If we ask the question, who could feel excluded at the moment? Now, you and I have both recently talked with somebody who's deaf, John, yes. And I never even thought about it, but the amount of exclusivity this person experiences is huge. Yeah. Because of course he works through a sign reader and has to set up a video conference with a sign reader to translate, etc. And just simply not hearing produces an exclusivity that I never even was aware of. It's obvious, isn't it, when you face the person and think about it? So yes, there's a great question to be had. Who might feel excluded at the moment, and why might they feel excluded? And again, initiating a conversation. And my final tip is inclusivity is helped if, as a manager, we set up remote groups, we don't have to do all the work. In other words, we don't have to be in every conversation. But if we do insist that in projects people work together in small compact groups, or in meetings we split up into sub meetings, getting others to by our advice and guidance to meet together, discuss, and then come back to us, again helps that inclusivity, because it's smaller groups and everybody is required to attend their small group, as many of those as possible. Conversations without the manager, really good advice to help the hybrid working atmosphere work smoothly.
Yeah, as you were speaking, Mark, I was just thinking that is such a powerful tool, because it's helped me a lot. You know, when we break out sometimes into smaller groups, because it gets you engaging with people on a person-to-person basis, whereas sometimes in those meetings you can sort of fade into the background a little bit and maybe even switch off.
Yeah, absolutely right. Oh, the switch off, it gives me another, we didn't rehearse this one either, another thought. I'm amazed at the number of people on video conferences who blanking the mic. I get that because of background noise, but they blank the video as well. And one thing as a manager, if you want inclusivity, insist everybody has their video on. That's really important. And that is a responsibility that we've all got to feel part of something. The mic, well, that's debatable because of background noise, but the video, yeah, we really should be looking at each other in these meetings. So that was just an afterthought there. Thanks, John.
Thanks, yeah.
Okay, we'll wrap up, and we look forward to seeing you all next time.